finished a wee beach workout and now we're on our way to Bunnings, so we need to get some legs for the dresser and see if Bunnings have any of those, and then sanding discs.
Yeah, I've run out of sanding discs. I'm not sure they will have what we're after for the legs, but I know that they do have some pretty decent legs at Bunnings for furniture, and so that should be, yeah, I don't know.
Might be a trip to Muzzies.
Oh yeah, we have a reclamation yard here in Christchurch called Musgroves, and they have like literally everything and anything you can imagine for this sort of thing, because all the reclamation from across Christchurch, and as we know, Christchurch had a pretty bad earthquake, so there's a lot of things. So yeah, hopefully they're open and we'll go check them out. Right, we are at Musgroves, the reclamation yard. As you can see behind me, there is like a bit of everything and everything here. All the moldings and stuff for villas, roof panels, like so many things. I've lost Mooch. I don't know where she is. I'm now in the bathroom section in this old building. Check that out. There's like all these old, those old school vanities. Right, I'm getting distracted. God, this is like a renovator's paradise in here. Showers, God, everything you could imagine.
So we're at Musgroves, and they have like literally these cabinets full of handles, and what are you looking at? The wooden, these.
Yeah, so I wonder if we can use this for a leg somehow.
I mean, they're $10 each. Might as well give it a go.
Give it a crack. And then for the pools, like you can see, there's like,
Got pink, got cream, got red.
there's everything. So as long as they're the right size, we'll just try do it. And even like something like this, we could paint black, because I'm thinking black's the answer. But then I also, just to get distracted again, I found like all these poles, stays, and because we have a villa, ideal. Anyway, back to the project. Right team, as you can see, I'm back in the yard. Now, I went to Bunnings and I found quite a few options, but they were quite expensive, and this boy don't like paying money. So what I did is I just purchased these 42 millimeter square lengths of timber, and I have painted it with black fence stain by Resene. And what I'm going to do is make my own stays, basically. So I'll do one length down, one length across, and the 45-degree angle as well, just to strengthen it. And I think it could be something a little bit different for this piece, because we're going to do black handles as well. You'll see that coming. Yeah, so I have hung them up. A little trick is to put a screw in the top of your lengths of timber if you need to paint the whole lot at once, and then hang it from a tree or a clothesline, something like that. I've been doing it for a few years with all our projects, and it works a treat. Righto, let's get into sanding the cabinet. The key ingredients to a decent upcycle is the tools you use. So we have always been a big fan of Ryobi, even before we were brand partners with Ryobi. So you can see here the green, the Ryobi green. Now these are the skins of just a couple of their tools. We have probably about 15 across the range of 1+. 1+ means that you can just grab the battery, chuck it in the tool. When you're done with that one, take it out, chuck it in the other one, and you're good to go. Now, when you're doing an upcycle, I recommend you have handy a duster brush. This one's by Hayden, another one of our good brand partners, and that basically helps you dust down between your sanding coats. You'll need a face mask for obvious reasons. Good eye protection. I need my glasses, otherwise I'll be sanding all over my hands. And yeah, so I've got the Orbital Sander by Ryobi. The only thing you need to do is empty the filter every now and then, but otherwise she's good to go. Sanding disc, I get the packs with multiple types. So this one ranges from 80. The lower the number, means the higher the grit. So 80 is going to take off the good base layer, and then I'll work my way up to about 120, and that will create a nice smooth finish for me to apply my stain. And the drill, because I was using it over the year. Righto team, I'm going to go ahead and get stuck into this piece. First of all, I will take out the drawers, and then I will give it a good sand over with that 80 grit and work up to the 120. It's very much just get a sense of how it goes. There's no right or wrong way to sand with the Orbital because it goes round and round and round, but I like to go with the grain, and that way you'll get a nice smooth finish. Whew, that's dusty work. Right, one thing I really like about the old wooden pieces, and hence why we always go for vintage, is the dated look. So we really like the sort of like the yesteryear, bit banged up. Nothing's too slick and perfect. We like our pieces to look like they've lived a good life and got stories to tell. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to leave a little bit of the old varnish on it, not to make it look shabby chic, but to give it that sort of like, you know, it's been around for 200 years sort of look. This one I'd say is a 1960s piece, maybe back to 1940s, and it's in pretty good condition, to be honest. It's not too banged around, but the varnish is as old as the hills, so I will I'll give that a good sanding down, but I will leave some just to make it look a bit antique-y, you know. Okay, so the sanding is all done, and now I'm going to be using Briwax Danish Oil. Again, available at Bunnings. Now I use this for all of my staining because it is food safe. So if you, not that I'm going to be eating off this, but if you're doing like a project like chopping boards or serving platters or anything like that, you can use this stuff as well. I really like how it brings out the timber and gives it kind of like a cedar sort of finish. That's what I like about this. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got like a small just throwaway brush because cleaning that is a nightmare, and a wider one as well. It says 3" on it, which is 76.2 millimeters. Not that I know that, it says it on the brush. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically crack into it. You can be quite generous with this stuff as well. Brush doesn't fit, so I will literally just pour it on the top. Dun, 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 dun. Just like that. Lovely, maybe a wee bit too much, but it's all right. And then you just literally just brush it in. Oh, those timber tones. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking good, it's looking good. So usually you need a few coats of this stuff as well. Yeah, I definitely overcommitted. I overcommitted, team. Didn't need this much, but it's all right. That is looking so good. Right, I missed a step, team. I should have wiped it with a damp cloth first. So, sorry, after the sand, and that'll bring all the dust and stuff out of the pores of the timber. But that's all good, because it came up exactly how I expected it to. Now, with the varnish, what I'm going to do is just give it a quick once over with a lightly damped cloth. And the reason I'm doing that is just to bring some of the orange tones of the timber out of it, because I'm not a big fan of that. And I have noticed with Danish oil, the more oil that's on it, the deeper the timber goes. And I really like that white look, that sort of almost like coastal, yeah, you know, coastal Hamptons vibe. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I can see a spot that I've missed. that is no problemo. I shall just give that a wee dab, 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 dab. Done. Lovely. Okay, team. Now I'm onto the drawers. I'm going to stick this in the sun, let it dry for about 3 hours. And while I do that, I'm going to paint the handles. Team, we did have a win at Musgroves. We found these handles that they're a little bit bigger than the old handle, but that's fine because I did find the old ones too small, but they are thick and I think that they're gonna look really cool. They're currently pink. So I'm going to be spraying them with a primer and then a black enamel paint. Enamel paint is really good if it gets lots of uses because it basically acts like the paint on your car, for example. So when you have rings and stuff on, you're not going to scratch it. So I'm going to go ahead, prime them, and then I will wait an hour, then paint them, and then I will leave them to dry overnight just so that enamel can really key in and off gas as well. What do you think of this epic trick as well? Just put a screw in some cardboard and that way you can paint all around your handle, not just like one side of it, which is really annoying. Team, Georgia and I lifted the piece in this morning. It came up so well, I absolutely love it. It looks like the top half is Remu and the bottom half pine. It has a really cool look and I'm so glad that I went with DIYing the stays. They look really cool in black. I won't show you yet, I'll show you when I'm finished. But the handles, I'm just putting these on now. They came up so well. I am so happy with them. I have 3 on already and they look so good in here because all up here, which you'll see in the end, we have a, what do you call it, like an exposed wardrobe, and it's black and timber, so it matches this really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and install these. You might see Frankie run in and out. Which is pretty easy, but the handles, the original handles must have been smaller. When we got it, they were zip ties. So what I need to do here is just drill little holes, so it's pretty easy just to line up and then drill either side. So I'm just drilling while it's inside and then I'll just lux it up. And then you go from inside the drawer just with some screws and job is done. Righto team, let's get into it. Right, the dresser is all put together. The handles have come up so nice. I recommend using that White Knight black enamel paint on anything because these handles, I mean, I gave them a good bang around and none of them have chipped. I'm so impressed. And they look so nice against the timber that has been stained with that Briwax oil as well. So now for the fun part, the styling. So when we style in this bedroom, well, to be honest, our whole house, we like to keep things supernatural. We don't like any bright and out there colors. Everything has to be part of like an earthy palette with, I guess, like the green tones, clays, and then we dress it up with the black just to modernize things as well. So I've got this vintage camera. This is super cool. It's from 1913 and it's a Kodak camera. So I've just put this here with some plants. I've got a mirror here and my hat, which I wear all the time because I get sunburnt very easily. So, team, time for the reveal. Let's have a look. Well, there it is, team, the dresser project. $30 off Facebook Marketplace. What a bloody bargain. I had fun. It was pretty achievable over the space of a weekend. obviously with dry time in there as well. Yeah, good times, good times. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, chuck them below, and go follow us on all our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and moochstyle.com. We're always under @Moochstyle. Thanks, team.